All right, let's get this show on the road. Hey everyone, and welcome back. Last time, if you remember, Kevin and Benedict the chicken found a very peculiar new friend, a walking, talking banana named Bartholomew. Things have been, well, bananas ever since. So, this morning, I'm just trying to enjoy my cereal, and bam! The front door bursts open. It's Kevin, looking like he's just run a marathon. He's waving this flyer in my face, completely out of breath. Look, it's the annual Sunnyvale Amazing Field Day, he shouts, practically vibrating with excitement. Before I can even ask what that is, Benedict the chicken flutters onto my shoulder, clucking like crazy. And right behind them, Bartholomew strolls in, cool as a cucumber. Or, a banana. He gives me a little wave. Greetings, human friend, he says, in that smooth, deep voice of his. It appears we have an athletic endeavor to attend. The flyer is for a big community sports day. 3-legged races, sack races, and the grand finale, the legendary obstacle course of doom. Well, okay. It's just called the Sunnyvale Obstacle Course, but Kevin added the of doom for dramatic effect. The grand prize is a giant golden trophy filled with unlimited ice cream for a year. Kevin's eyes were practically sparkling. We have to win, he declared. Think of all that ice cream. We'll be heroes. Bartholomew placed a hand on Kevin's shoulder. A noble quest. But victory requires preparation, young Kevin. We must train. And just like that, our backyard was transformed into a boot camp. Bartholomew, it turns out, is a surprisingly good coach. He had Kevin and Benedict hopping in potato sacks, practicing their balance, and even doing tiny push-ups. Well, Kevin did push-ups. Benedict mostly just pecked at worms, but with a lot of athletic intensity. I watched from the window, trying not to laugh, as Bartholomew used a garden hose to create a slippery zone they had to navigate. He was shouting things like, agility, finesse, mind the peel. It was the most ridiculous and amazing thing I've ever seen. Kevin was determined, though. He was diving and rolling, with Benedict flapping alongside him, squawking encouragement. Finally, the big day arrived. The park was buzzing with energy. Kids, parents, pets. Everyone was there. Our team name, the Fruit and Foul Flyers. Bartholomew insisted. He wore a sweatband, which was hilarious. Our first event was the 3-legged race. Kevin tied his leg to Bartholomew. It was a strange sight. When the whistle blew, they were a mess. Kevin wanted to run, but Bartholomew had this weird, deliberate, banana-like walk. They waddled and wobbled, zigzagging across the field while Benedict ran circles around them, clucking instructions. They came in dead last, but they were laughing so hard they didn't even care. Next up was the sack race. This was Benedict's time to shine. Kevin got in his sack, and Benedict, somehow, managed to get into a tiny little sack that Bartholomew had made from a handkerchief. It was adorable. The whistle blew, and Kevin started hopping. But Benedict, that chicken was a natural. He was like a feathered pogo stick, bouncing past everyone. He actually won his heat. Kevin was so proud. He lifted Benedict up like he'd just won the World Cup. Then, it was time for the main event, the obstacle course of doom. It had everything. A rope wall, a mud pit, a balance beam, and a tire run. Kevin looked nervous. I don't know if I can do this, he whispered. Bartholomew knelt down. Kevin, he said, a competition is not just about winning. It is about trying your best, having fun with your friends, and creating a story you will tell for years. Benedict clucked in agreement, puffing out his chest. That was all Kevin needed. He took a deep breath, and when the race started, he was off. He scrambled up the rope wall, slid into the mud pit with a giant splash, and navigated the tires like a pro. Benedict ran along the sidelines, a tiny feathered cheerleader. When Kevin reached the final balance beam, he wobbled. He was about to fall, but then he looked over and saw his friends. Bartholomew gave him a slow, encouraging nod. Kevin refocused, found his balance, and sprinted to the finish line. He didn't win the ice cream trophy, but you know what? It didn't matter. As they walked off the field, covered in mud and grass stains, they were the happiest team there. They had faced the challenges together, cheered each other on, and had an absolute blast. They proved that the real prize isn't a trophy. It's the fun you have and the friends you share it with. And that's the story of the Sunnyvale Amazing Field Day. Thanks for hanging out with us for another adventure. What kind of trouble do you think this trio will get into next? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss a single moment. We'll see you all next time. Bye.